Hey, you're back to Car Grumps Test 2.
Wow.
No, so the funny
guys.
thing was a couple of seconds ago, we had the stream going, and for some reason, it just did not like the stream. Something happened. I think it might have been on Facebook or something. It just decided to throw a wrench in the works. Everything on the internet's testing great. We're at like 200 megabytes per second on the slowest connection. And then all of a sudden, it decided it went to 10, and it destroyed the whole computer
Just
per
took a
se.
dump.
So
Just blame the weather.
we started over. So
It just took a dump.
It was the wind.
It
was the wind.
So yeah,
It's windy day. You know.
So we're going to start over because we have to put this something on the podcast and make it right. So for all you guys that missed, you didn't miss anything. Welcome to Car Grumps. Every Wednesday at 7 p.m. we start our show, except when we're having internet connection problems.
Then we start at like 7:50.
Right, 7:15, 7:20.
it works.
But yeah, so we stream on YouTube, Facebook, X, Twitch, Kick. We have a ton of different places out there. If you search for us, you will find us. But yeah, YouTube and Facebook is usually our primary big guys there. So make sure you head over to those, like and subscribe.
That's
and
right,
yeah,
Keith.
so and we
Send
have in our midst today, we have a guest. And I am going to just jump into that. For Stance Bodega, Gio is in the house. Say hello.
What's up, everybody? How's it going?
Okay, so, and since we didn't get to really do it before.
Man. How's it going?
Yeah, and they lost.
Blocker!
So since they lost everything before, would you be kind enough to introduce yourself and go over the details with
Yeah,
them?
do it again.
Yeah.
Do it again.
Yes.
Do it
Round
again.
two.
Pretend like it never happened.
I'm Giovanni from Stance Bodega. Shout out to my co-host Antonio Soto, who's not here with us today, but I run a podcast about the car culture, and we just talk about everything with the car community. We host events. We're at almost every single event.
You're not at every single event.
Almost.
Not, bro.
You just call him out like, wow, man.
I had to.
I did say almost.
He's doing his best.
Joel wants to know what a bodega is.
He was the one that
Joel.
gave us the definition.
Yeah, I know, but listen, he's replaying it. We're like redoing everything.
It's like,
Remember, in
okay,
Portuguese,
even the
like the
chat is
review
following
before
the
the test.
script.
in Portuguese, it's a piece of shit.
That's good. It's what he said.
Exactly
Oh my
what
god.
it is. We're in Little Portugal. It's a piece of shit. That's it.
Okay. So for reference, a bodega is a shop.
Yeah.
In a
And-
Spanish community.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
a
there it
packy.
is.
It's a packy in Puerto Rico.
Yes.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, he put that thing. Okay. Joel is on
Thanks,
point.
Joel.
Okay, I'll read it. Joel
Appreciate
put
it,
in the
brother.
work. A small grocery store, especially in the Spanish-speaking neighborhood. A wine shop or wine cellar in the Philippines. It's a storehouse or storeroom. We have
where
filled
you get
almost
the
half
goods.
our bodega. There. Can we? Are you happy now,
The
Joel?
good stuff.
See, we have a good. Our army is strong.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
It was like Joel hit us with the facts twice.
And we're completely insane, so that really helps out a lot.
No,
too,
there's nothing. I am very well. I'm very well rounded.
It's the new S. Instead of Ask Jeeves, it's Ask Joel.
Hey, just pointing out something real
Yes.
quick out, Joel. You mispronounced or misspelled noun. It says O-U-N, not N-O-U-n.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, did you?
hey.
Call him out.
Did you
Listen,
correct the
wow.
corrector?
Spelled
Wow.
Yep.
Just come on in here and start shitting on our followers.
Yeah, right.
I appreciate it, pal.
Look who's getting invited back next time.
Wow, that's it.
Oh, that's
I'm not
great.
gonna say my mother had
My mom had me tested too. That's why they let me out last year.
Right. So just as a reminder, and I'll do we can do the little things here. So we'll do it quick. This is Primo, and you guys all know Dozer J, and then we got big old Mayor Phil in the back, and then obviously Gio did his introduction. So yeah, we're gonna be having a cool show tonight. As always, what we talk about is the irreverence in the car scene, and I think everybody here does really well at irreverent. So, yeah, and that's the thing is we're a streaming, podcasting kind of group. I don't know how much you guys have written for magazines or anything before.
I've never written for a magazine.
Right.
I can't
I
even
do that all the time.
I can't even write.
Just
I
the
can't
other day you
write.
did it, right?
No, never.
Yeah, but I've done a lot of print in my early days, and I did stuff for HIN. I did stuff for some automotive dealerships for their print stuff and newsletters, and now I'm writing for Motorhead. And that's the thing is I think that it's a big discussion we have tonight. Before we do that, though, I think that some guys have some things to discuss. Dr. Pepper.
Be a pepper.
Yeah. If you haven't tagged Dr. Pepper in the thing there, tag it. Tag the Dr.
Yes,
Pepper.
everybody, please just tag Dr. Pepper.
Right. So, but yeah. So, Jay, I think you actually have. We normally talk about the suffering.
We
in
talk
our
about
community.
all the woes I've been going
Right.
through.
Yes.
So
in
let's
2023,
let's
24.
change it up a
Picking on
little
him
bit.
So bad.
We're gonna flip it, and let's
Yeah.
talk about the future.
We're gonna
Yeah.
do a 180.
Go ahead, Jay.
So I have a future project in mind. I went and spoke with my stepfather the other day, and he's been hoarding this 1964 Ford Fairlane under the back of his house. It's in a good spot.
Is this the one?
You know, this is the one.
That's
My
it.
nipples
That
are
is
hard,
it.
bro.
That is when it was a full-on pro stock machine, and it wasn't, not street legal. So now I'm trying to continue on what he had planned for it, make it street legal. So it's gonna need a lot of work. Right now, as it sits, it has a motor, transmission, and a full roll cage. There's a lot that was done to it, to put it in
Is
the.
motor seized, or
I hope not. It's been sitting for quite some time, but I
Yeah.
don't think the motor sees. He actually does. He mentioned his father does have a 427 with side oilers, which is the original motor that came in the 64 Thunderbolt, Tasker Ford Thunderbolt, and that would be the best motor to put in there.
I like what Vinny said. You don't need to be street legal with an antique plate.
in Rhode Island? Yeah, he has a point.
I do wanna get. I gotta get the.
Let me get that
glass,
address, Vinny.
the interior,
Let
in
me
there.
get the Addy.
I'd like to have at least 2 seats, but I would like to do a full interior and then make it at least safe for the road,
Not like the Grindhouse car from what do you call it? From Quentin Tarantino's film.
Yeah,
Death Proof. Giving people a ride in the car.
But it should be fun, and I'm trying to keep it in the family, finish his project that he's been going on for so many years, and he picked that car up out in Ohio, and it's just been one of those things that I've always wanted him to finish because I want to take it down the track myself.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
And
of course.
I grew up
You?
around drag racing with my stepdad. He had a '67 Chevy Nova 2 back in the mid '90s, and that thing was running 10 O's all motor, and that's all he ever talks about is the rush.
Yeah.
The rush of going down the track. So
Yep.
That's awesome.
All
All right. What's the timeline on this whole thing getting ready to go and blah blah blah?
So I mean, we're still in the process. Like I just broke to him the other day, and I honestly never thought he would part ways with the car.
Yeah.
And but he was like, you know what, you're right. But we got to talk numbers, and then I got to find a shop that's gonna take it in. I got a couple people in mind, and it's gonna be a work in progress. It's not gonna be an overnight project.
No.
But Rome wasn't built overnight.
Yeah. Do you have like a budget so far?
Yes, there's a bank someplace they can rob.
Thankfully,
Infinity.
my wife is in class right now, so she's not watching this. But
Yeah.
I have a couple of projects that I'm looking to part ways with,
Yeah.
and and then we'll see from there.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, Phil. I got Phil's project.
Wow.
There's Phil's project.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. That's the
Rolling.
one.
I'm sitting outside the bodega with
you
a
go.
smart car. That's where it all started.
Don't
You know,
forget
I,
to take it to
I
the
feel
table.
like we should show up at a car show with that too.
Hey, I should get one of those and just roll around, dude.
Dude,
gotta
did you see
decal
what
that
Joel
thing.
said? You should take it to a takeover.
No, Vinny said that. And
Oh, it was Vinny? Oh, I'm sorry,
Vinny.
Vinny. Yes, yeah, Vinny.
Vinny, bro. We're
slide
friends.
that thing
We're
around.
friends, right? We're
Was.
Oh, you bastard. Speaking of takeovers, did anybody see what happened over at Lone Star Throwdown?
No,
Big
I didn't.
truck
What was
show
up
in
with that?
Texas. Oh my
I
God.
heard they threw down.
Oh yeah, they threw down all right. people
What happened?
acting like a bunch of morons yet again. Get another like reputable, wonderful show canceled.
It's like
So
the-
yeah, so
Is it canceled?
yep.
Or is
So
it,
they had huh?
No, go ahead.
Oh, I thought you were gonna whisper sweet nothing into my ear. So they had you cut me off.
I'm gonna look this way. Sorry.
So they had a contract to do it again next year in the same place, and they pulled the contract.
oh,
Now-
so they're out, right?
they're out now. Now they're working on getting people with businesses and such with letterheads to write like informative letters that they're not the cause of the problem.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah.
people and yada yada yada. Listen, everybody, can we just cut the shit and act normal when there's a car show or a truck show or a bike show? Not act like a bunch of heathens. We get it.
Yeah.
Your car's cool. It makes horsepower. I get it.
Purse.
Like, save it for
Purse,
YouTube or
purse.
something. Like, just knock the shit off. God.
It triggers Phil, and you don't want to make Phil unhappy. So
Like, pretty soon we're not going to have anything, and I'm going to be pissed.
Dude.
Thanks to you guys. You
So
guys are
there's
a
no-
bunch of assholes.
There's no H2O. I don't know if you guys ever attended.
Oh,
this
yeah,
show,
they-
but
they-
there's no H2O.
Yeah.
There's no more Slammed Enough Gatlinburg.
yep.
Yeah, and
There's
what-
no more Simply Clean.
But with Slammed Enough Gatlinburg, there's two other shows that go there. There's like a hot rod show,
Yes.
and there's another truck show. They pulled their contract
Yeah.
too, so they can't do it because people act like idiots at Gatlinburg.
Yeah.
Listen, guys. Yeah, but Brooks,
The language
it's
on the
happening.
wheels.
It's happening everywhere. Like, people, excuse my language, I'm gonna drop that bomb, but people are acting like fucking savages. Who you gotta show off to? You ain't need to show off to nobody. And if you have friends like this, please share this video so they can hear me too when I call them out. And if anybody has anything to say, they know where I'm at. Come see me. Because you guys are a bunch of idiots. You're ruining this shit for fucking all of us. And I'm kind of sick and tired of it. You guys deserve a foot up the ass. Like, you guys are the epitome. You guys are what not the car scene is. You guys are like the scum under the tires of these fucking cars that are actually at these shows. And these people own these cars, these nice cars. You're the piece of gum they ran over. Like, you suck. Just stay home. Play GTA or a video game. Don't be an asshole. There's people like us who sit here who are normal human beings and enjoy going to these things. So
Normal.
knock it off.
Use normal lightly.
Yeah. And then on that note, so but yeah, we got a lot of stuff out there, and we get a little bit triggered about it. So it is what it is. But
I guess we
anyway,
can swear now, right?
No.
yeah, no, Phil got triggered. Yeah,
Sorry,
Phil
guys.
kind of derailed.
Yeah, a
My
little bit.
virgin ears is crazy.
Yeah.
I know, right? Glenn,
What up, Paul?
Glenn, you did warn me, so it is what it is. But anyway,
It just pisses me off.
so
But
but
anyways,
we
back to our normally tuned.
right. And then on our thing, I kept going, so I'm still doing the stuff for in the shop.
Yep.
And we had our Nate truck that went through some little bit more stuff there. And if you guys remember from the last show, Nate was on it. And yeah, I remember his YouTube channel.
Yep.
Stay tuned for it because he's got a really fun little thing coming up that you guys are going to really like. So if you subscribe to him, go ahead and go back to that. So let's see. So, you know what? Gio has not. You didn't talk about your car yet, have you?
Yeah,
No,
Gio, what do
no,
you got?
not yet.
What do you got?
So I have
Super gang.
Well, what'd you
03
have?
Oh, I had an 09 Acura TSX.
Was it
prior
nice?
to that. It was very nice.
Did it
Yeah.
have like the air ride suspensions?
Had the air ride. I had the
Nice.
cambies. I had everything. Whatever you can think about it. Yeah, I was a total piece of crap.
And it's gone now?
Yeah, it's gone now.
What happened?
I sold it to another guy.
Why?
Because he wanted a piece of crap car, so I sold it to him. I'm just kidding.
Too funny.
Wow.
No.
There's a guy out there be like, what? What?
No.
Honey, he's
Get every penny
he
back
said
that
I
you
bought a
put into
piece.
it?
Yeah.
No, of course not. Of course not. I got a good bag for it though. I'm not gonna
There
lie.
you go.
Yeah.
I sold it basically the way. Dude, the car got repainted 5 times.
Wow.
So
Really?
Yeah.
You were that like
Can you imagine putting the monitor on the side of that paint and you just be like, it's still reading?
it's still like damn. No, I mean like it was done like well, you know. So it was done 5 times, brother.
Wow.
5
Wow.
different times. Yep.
Yep.
All different versions of blue.
Really?
Yep.
Now, is that your favorite color?
No, blue's not. Red is my favorite color.
Really?
Yeah, red is my favorite color.
We're not friends.
What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Really?
Yes.
That's my.
We got the Bloods and Crips going on over here. What's going on?
Gang life.
Bro.
Gang.
Bro, meet me outside.
Wait, hold on.
Great.
I just All right,
So
Cardi B.
what car?
I got the peacock. I got the peacock that goes along with that.
So
Okay.
you're a blood.
I got a Cardi peacock on my left butt cheek.
I know. I saw it.
I know. You want to see it again? No. I'm
Actually.
just, listen.
Don't tell me with a good time.
I was about to say. Listen.
Oh Lord. I don't know what we just got into.
So yeah, right. But
Let's go.
We're on to the. That's the thing is one thing that we want to talk about tonight, which I think is important because we have a room full of people here that all do. We're all podcasters. So and we've been on for a while. Like I know.
am not a podcast.
Well, you did your stuff. You
I
did-
talk on a microphone. You guys.
You used to do
guys
stuff on
tied me up,
Facebook
threw
all
me
the
in a
time.
trunk, and brought me here.
Yep.
Mom!
There's that.
Help!
But anyway, so yeah, we all sit in front of the mic and we yap our brains out and we talk about stuff. And the big thing that we talk about is cars. And one of the things that I've been noticing lately is that, especially with magazines, is they are looking more and more for people to write for them more and more. I mean, we have a ton of photographers. We usually are really sparse on writers to do stuff. But the big thing that I run into is I see more and more of these magazines falling off at the edge and not being out there as much anymore. And the magazines just basically shutting down
Meth.
while other people are trying to do
All
it
the
up. But
meth.
I still see, the more I see those die, the more I see podcasters grow. So we got a whole group of podcasters here, and I would like to hear some input from everybody on. I think Gio, this is something you kind of hold dear to you. So what input do you have?
Meth. Joel. Meth.
Yeah, right.
No.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Yeah, that's messed up, man. So I have a lot to say about that, which is kind of cool. Because this is actually something I brought up in my podcast as well.
Yep.
I do feel like the internet did take away from print. And I say the internet because it's like a broad statement. It's different for the car community, obviously, but we're intertwined because we all use the same stuff. You know what I mean? So like the magazines are now switching to, social media because that's just how it is. Mm-hmm. So I would say the internet kind of killed the print, but there's still people like I'll give Matt from Beast Coast. He always is trying to put something together. You know what I mean? Whether it is on a blog site.
Oh,
or,
we're talking about that. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. I
What
was
were you
lost
talking
first. I don't know. I was lost, dude. I was just watching your lips move.
But
Some meth.
yeah. I can tell now. And yeah, that's actually so funny thing you brought that up, Joel. Video killed the radio star. That was a statement that we just said.
Yeah, we were talking. The other thing that we brought up was Blockbuster versus Netflix. So yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I would say yes and no to that because we still have prominent stars like Howard Stern. You have to adapt. It's just the way it is. You know what I mean? You could still. I still listen to Howard Stern. We just talked about this not too long ago.
Oh yeah.
Not all the time, but now he has a video segment of it, so I can see him do it. And is it better? Yeah, because I get to actually see him now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You get to see what's going on.
See what's going on. Because you remember back in the day, like you couldn't hear all you couldn't hear, you couldn't see anything that's going on, and you had to kind of picture it, But now that you actually get to see,
But the thing is like with back then where you couldn't see it and you like you said you had to picture it.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing in what's killing people's imaginations now. They don't have to work to think of like, is it like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like people actually have conversations about that. Now it's kind of like, everybody is like this. Everybody's a zombie. I had somebody at the registry the other day walk into the side of my truck. Yeah, I had somebody the other day walk into the side of my truck at the registry because their nose was buried in their phone. The kid walked right into the fender of my truck. Right into the fender of my truck.
Small
No.
truck, you can't see it.
Right into the fender of my truck. I drive a land yacht, and this kid was like legit like this, and boom, and he looked at me, and I'm like,
Are you serious?
bro,
Scratch my shit, dude.
I was like, wow, scratch my CD in broad daylight. Nah, but the kid looked at me like, what is this doing here? parking spot.
Who put that there?
Yeah, exactly.
But the one thing that I was talking to was somebody else. I was dealing with a company that does marketing, and I said, how much marketing do you do in print? They said, I don't do any print. They do a little bit of radio, but they done a ton of online. They do a ton of other stuff, and they're always looking for podcasts, video guys, always something to put out. And that's why we were discussing was they wanted to be on a podcast that people identify with and trust. So it's such a change in the way not only we're looking at it, but if marketers are looking at it that way, they have to be seeing something, right?
Agreed. And that brings me back to social media. Why would I go on Sirius XM, right? And another example, why would I click Howard Stern when I can go to Facebook Live and now I can comment, he can see it, he can, you can hear him, you can see him, you can in different aspect. You're just getting a whole new vision on media. You know what I mean? So it's like
feels more personable.
It's just more personable, exactly. And the same thing goes for like, we were just talking about print. It takes forever to print, whereas I can get you something almost instantly on social media.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
it's a demand-oriented environment. Like
exactly.
TikTok, it's a 10-second market. You know,
that's exactly it.
Yep.
So I wouldn't say that print is dying because there's still people who love the nostalgia of holding a magazine
hell yeah,
and seeing everything. Same thing with like I work on people's homes that still have VHS. You know what I mean?
Really?
And
that's pretty funny.
Yeah. So again, it's like a nostalgic feeling. You know what I mean? But then we enter the modern world, and it's like, dude, now I need to have a phone. Now this is the only way where I'm gonna get something.
Yep.
So another example, I was just in Connecticut. I watched the Nakai build the RWD.
I was gonna ask that question.
Huge moment in my life, or for anybody who was there, that's a
asshole.
Moment. Sorry. Vinyl records.
Yep.
Another example.
That's still a big thing, though, is the vinyl record.
The vinyls are definitely coming back.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was so weird going to the store and seeing somebody with a record player for sale at like a store. I'm like, this is how we get back, you know what I mean, to where we were.
They still make them like there's modern day record players.
Also, I'll say this: if you're an audiophile, it's better to listen to a vinyl record.
Yes.
It's like pure sound.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Most of the time is done in one take.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah. It's hard. You can't rewrite a record.
True.
Right.
So everything.
You sure?
You can't rewrite a record.
I don't even know how you write a record, but okay.
It's hard.
Bro, I am one of the worst people to ever have a conversation with, a legitimate, educated conversation with.
It's hard.
I was telling them, I was like, I want to be on the whatever podcast. I want to try to be on the whatever podcast, but I'm afraid because they're just so educated. And he's like, no, they're not.
I was like, you got that. That's screaming you. You know what I mean?
I would love to tear apart people.
Can you imagine a Phil rant on the whatever podcast?
And
like
I wouldn't have to filter myself. Like I wouldn't have to filter myself. Like they allow all the swear words.
Yeah.
I would go off. Oh yeah, dude, I would be in heaven. Like right now, I'm trying to there's a filter. Like
you're trying to,
and like I'm thinking about what I'm saying before I say it. So like that's how you see me go like
that's
sometimes.
why I asked earlier if I can swear. I would just go off.
And Phil goes, no, you can't swear. And then he goes,
yeah,
I'm gonna say this one time.
My bad.
Too funny.
This episode should have a parental advisory sticker on it.
But here's a great example, and this is something that I said and this is why I think the Blockbuster Netflix thing is so valuable.
Yeah.
Like you can't imagine, especially in the podcast world, and a good example was like Reggie's show that I used to do. That was a magazine-driven show. But then I go to magazines and I go, hey, we should do a podcast. How do you want to do this? And it's crazy to get the pushback of how they do it when people, they won't listen to you. So they want to do it their own way. Yep. And so you have a show that's like not, I'm going to say it's not interesting. It's not fun. It's something that has a lifespan to it, but it's also like what we're doing and what, like you were saying, the Howard Sterns are doing is pushing these podcast or series style shows that have a lot of longevity, and you pitch it to them and they're just They don't want to hear it. They're just not interested. They still want to do this. They want to get on this even keel. And it's like, I want to tell them, like, if you want it done, there's people like us that are being successful with it.
Yep.
Your show, our show, let's see, it was Rex's show. All those guys are seeing a ton of push forward. And your magazine going, no, I really don't want to be a part of that. It's like, we can put your pictures and all that stuff on our show and show it off, and we're actually getting to the people, and we're at the car show.
Oh yeah,
Right.
We're friends with them.
Well, that's one of the things. I mean, from a marketing standpoint, right? We are all about numbers, right?
Oh yeah.
You're looking for when you break down the
Well, I think
analytics.
people are shocked at the amount of analytics that we look at compared
yeah.
to anything else.
Oh
So,
yeah, because we all know right now. When you podcast, you look at the analytics because you want to hit it where the audience is going to watch, right?
Right.
Same thing out of marketing point of view. You're looking at it and you're like, okay, this worked, this didn't work, right? It's kind of crazy. So then you go to a magazine and you're like, hey, they ask all the time, how is it going to benefit us, right? And if you don't
how wouldn't it?
how wouldn't it?
well, that's
eyes on. It's extra eyes on. It
Yeah.
might be an entire different demographic that you would have never reached before.
Yes.
But it's
You
not
know?
only that, Jay, but I think it's the idea of like when you're selling a magazine, you're selling it to a store. So you put it out in the store and you put out 20 magazines. You see it from the storefront side. You don't see how many people picked that magazine and how many got thrown out of a window someplace. With us, we can look at every single number. I can tell you what country, almost to the state, where all of our viewers are. And Gio can do it. We can do it.
Yep.
I'm sure that Rex can do it. Everybody that does podcasts, and Brian Mello, who does his big thing around here, he can tell you all that stuff. And he knows what works and what doesn't and what people are interested in watching. And I'm telling you, it's never what we think. And that's the crazy thing about the car community.
Exactly. And that's another marketing doctor.
Sponsored by.
I'm still like, where did you get the shirt? Like, that's awesome.
I got this shirt at Target the other day.
No
That's
way.
hilarious.
I walked by and I said, I have to have it.
Yes.
Dude, with the ASMR is crazy. 'Cause I
Dude, you
think-
should. Dude, we would have
is it?
all invested on that
ASMR.
one. Yeah.
Was it the
ASMR.
breathing or the
You
burping?
never know. You don't know about ASMR, bro?
No.
It's
Oh my
it's
gosh.
It's like when you're quiet.
Oh yeah, you like that, huh?
I got to get him out more. I'm sorry, guys. It's my fault.
Guy, I'm telling you, my vocabulary is like that big.
You're
Like you
just
see
not-
these two talking, I'm just staying out of it because like they're talking about marketing and this
Right.
and that and blah blah blah. Like, no, I don't know anything
But
about
your-
that. So
your
I'm
thing
just
is-
trying to learn.
Your thing is actually application. You go out and do the work and
Yes.
get on the forefront while
Yes.
a lot of us sit behind computers all day and do. It's a totally different world than
Yeah.
you're actually applying some of those. And not to say that we don't like.
No, they work
they're,
their asses off because I wouldn't be
obviously
able to
Jay
do, like-
and Gio do go out and do
You guys
all the
do
stuff.
some great
but-
marketing with your
Right.
badass trucks. I
Right.
mean,
I know, and then like usually, Phil needs to go down a Joel YouTube rabbit hole. Joel,
Yes.
you got to get a hug because you just threw me off. I totally forgot what the hell we were just talking about.
your marketing, man. Your
Oh,
big
marketing,
purple
yes,
truck.
big purple truck. Yeah,
Oh man.
yeah, the colors, the
Can't
colors.
miss it. You know. I mean, you guys do a great job with Hyde. Shout out to Hyde Paving.
Hyde
Yeah,
paving.
paving.
Yep. That's,
But yeah,
that's big
anytime I
purple
see
trucks.
that big ass truck, I'm like, up there they go. I'm like,
There,
that wide boy going by that big diesel. What was that? Your uncle's truck?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the F350.
He almost ran me
purple
over
one?
a couple times.
Yeah, he's watching right now.
What's up, man?
Yeah,
What's up, Uncle?
Uncle Nelson.
Don't run me over, Nelson.
He texted me during my tangent and told me to shut up.
Nice.
I love that truck though.
Yeah,
I
I
see
looked
it all the
over and it
time.
was,
And he
"Shut
doesn't
up."
know it's me, but if you see a little gray Audi beeping at you, it's just me. So
Just move over a little bit. Don't run them completely over.
Yeah.
Car just
if
got
you
back
do,
from
make
the
sure
shop.
it's gone. Totally.
Right.
Please.
We need them in one piece.
All right, so what we were talking about, so we're talking about analytics. We're talking about being more accurate than some of this other stuff, and showing more of the value and why I think people resonate more towards podcasts, both from we're the people making the media, and also the people who are watching the media,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Like,
So,
you know, I mean, it's moved a long way because I prefer the hub over a hustler any day. I mean, it's just, it's easier, you know?
Yeah.
So one thing, we were just talking about marketing, and we were talking about signage and decals being on trucks and stuff, but
Yeah.
digital marketing,
Yeah.
is that what is taking over for all business, for everything? I mean, where can you really get the reach?
I think you're gonna get a better reach when it comes to that.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I mean, billboards are a thing of the past. Even the billboards are digital now.
Yep.
You know, you're only getting 30 seconds on a billboard, and not even 30 seconds, probably 5 to 10 seconds as a car drives by, and then it's switching to the next ad.
Yes.
You know, so everything is digital nowadays. It's
Yes.
the wave, it's the move.
Well,
And-
Gio, tell them and I think that because you've done some marketing before, right? With your stuff, so
He does it all
I
the
don't-
time.
I think that the people don't realize exactly how targeted we can get. Like when you do a marketing campaign, go over a little bit of how you can target somebody and say, "I'm going to do this."
It depends on what I'm pushing.
Yeah.
So let's just
So who do you push
RWB.
for?
It
Okay.
depends. I'll just talk about RWB for now.
Okay.
RWB.
Show off.
My audience, my audience for that just switched, right? Normally, I'm with the stance guys. I'm with the guys who lower their cars to the floor and can barely drive it.
Tilty wheels.
There you go.
The guys who just don't care about their builds, right? That's the typical stance guy, right? I mean, there's some who do, like, who are strictly like,
Oh, I mean,
this is a clean car. I
Yeah.
love this car, whatever, blah, 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 right? Then you got the Porsche purists who do
the
not
purists.
like what RWB
They
is about, right?
were
Same thing with
pissed.
any other car. So now my audience changed. How am I going to push this, right? I look at my analytics. I have, for some reason, don't know why, I have a huge following in Germany. In Germany, what's better to push than Porsche?
Yep.
Right?
True.
So
Smart.
now, I'm going to put when I go to my campaign, automatically I'm going to push Germany. And I can break it down by location too. Say, hey, this is, Berlin? What? Okay, say less.
Yep.
This is it.
And you can even choose the field like automotive or
I can
auto.
choose automotive. I can choose leisure, comedy, you name it. I mean, you know as well. Marketing is huge, right?
You can also break it down into different
group.
classes as
Yep.
well, middle class, upper class,
Absolutely.
right?
Yep. And that's exactly how I break it down. Because not the average Joe can drive a Porsche.
No,
You know
so
what I
why
mean?
waste?
So why am I gonna push it?
Yes,
to,
they can. They made the Boxster.
But I mean, like,
That thing.
it's hard to push it. But the
He's
good
gonna
thing
go
about-
right for the low blow right out of the skate.
Exactly. The good thing about RWB is that it actually didn't change my audience, right? Because most RWBs are stance cars. Like, they are lower.
Yeah.
They have the wide wheels that we're all looking for. They have
Yep.
a nice kit,
Yep.
nice bright color. It fits in with the narrative. So now, yes, I can add a little more, right? I can say, okay, now anybody between the ages of 18 and 30 and 35, predominantly male, are
Yep.
gonna like these cars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
You
it's
have to-
funny that we can actually see who's watching us the most and say these are the kind of cars that they like. So if I do somebody in the younger age group, they're watching it because they want to see the younger cars.
Yes.
But then you get 45 plus and you get more into the hot rods and other stuff. But you still, if you end up pulling somebody from a younger demographic, it doesn't hurt in the long run. So it really doesn't matter as long as you're within that auto area. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. The other thing is timing. So another thing about marketing is
Oh,
freaking
catching
timing.
that algorithm.
Catching that, exactly. And it's not really the algorithm.
I learned that word. Oh, shit, of course. I was trying to be smart and I just got shut down.
No.
You're doing great, Phil. Keep it up.
You're right. It's, you gotta,
Yep, just make it
Phil's
up.
big
It's all
word of the
Gio.
day.
No, you gotta keep throwing it into your algorithm.
Algorithm.
Right.
And you're 100% right. And so if I'm pushing stance cars, then automatically I throw a Porsche in there. It's
Yeah,
I
it just
just
messes-
messed up my own algorithm. You know what I mean?
But it's
So-
cool to understand that your group is Porsche. Like, do you feel that with your views do you feel like there's certain brands that are like, these are the brands I can always talk about, and then there's brands that you're like, if I talk about that, it's nobody's gonna watch?
Yes. Because like I just said, like my audience is so, it doesn't vary. Like I know exactly who my audience is. It's anywhere between the ages of 15 and 25, lowering their cars. It's basically like a beginner.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
A beginner
Yep.
car builder or whatever. A beginner enthusiast.
Yep.
The people who are into the trends. You know?
Yes.
So when I throw like a 944, which I'm looking at right now, into the mix, my algorithm changes because now I'm trying to push to an older narrative, and it's hard to push that.
Oh, very much
It's
so.
hard. It's hard to push to the older generation because they're not on their phone all the time. So
No,
they're
not.
They're only gonna see
Not like this.
what I'm pushing. You know, if I'm pushing stance, they're gonna see that, but they're never gonna look at my page. It's very, very rare that someone's gonna look through your whole page and say, "Oh, I really like this." You know what I mean?
Oh,
You have to really, really grasp their attention.
Yeah.
And that's like the hard thing about marketing, because now I have to follow trends in order to stay
Relevant.
relevant.
And this is the other thing that I want to add here. And Joel did it and wrote this, and I want to read this. The problem is, Joel writes, the problem I feel is that online and or interweb stuff does not always seem to delve into real facts in that opinions are more pushed as facts, and podcast in print is more often fact if it is opinion and plainly stated as an editorial. Now, I'm going to say something, and people can argue it all you want. I don't really have an answer for it, but I'm 90% of the stuff that I watch that everybody's like, this is a podcast, you should tune in, you watch it, is boring. It is not. The reason that people watch Top Gear is because Top Gear was fun. They brought cars out. They did car soccer. You know, Jarrett Clarkson would come out and just bash a car just because he didn't like it. And I think the thing that we like about it is that it's opinionated, but it's also honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got guys that are looking over, you're like, hey man, it may look good on paper, and it makes 700 horsepower, makes 1,000 horsepower. It doesn't drive any good at all. I'd never own that car. And that's the thing is people, you know, are invested in it.
And hey, that's Top Gear had personalities and had exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, with a lot of the podcasts that I try to watch, like, it keeps my attention for all of, like, not even 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, me and Gio were talking on the phone the other day.
Yeah.
And, like, I can't.
Yep.
Honestly, I don't know how the hell that you guys are sitting here, like, watching us right now. No, I'm serious. And I'm not trying to, I'm just like, there's better shit to do. And you guys are legit, like, watching us, which I appreciate very much. But, like, me watching a podcast, no.
There goes
like,
our entire following.
Yeah, no.
Signed off.
No, I just,
You're like, listen, guys, you got better things to do with your life.
no, but no.
Go find a new hobby on
And, like,
Wednesday nights.
don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Hey, look at that.
If you see this guy,
Look at
run
that.
him off the road.
Look at
because
that.
He doesn't support.
Due to technical difficulties tonight,
Yeah.
our show is going to be
Shut him
canceled.
off.
You're now.
Hey,
canceled.
listen, next week if you guys don't see me, I'm sorry.
Right.
But yeah, that's the thing. So Phil has personality.
Yes.
No,
And
I
that's
don't. No,
what
I am
sells
dry like a piece of toast.
No, dude. What?
Yep, I have no personality at all.
It was my mission.
The best part, we're laughing about it.
without
saying it.
personality.
when I met Alan, and he started talking about a podcast, and he mentioned, he was like, you know, do you have anybody in mind? And instantly, boom.
Yeah.
And then
Phil.
he was like, yeah, no, it's we can't get him in here. And I said, oh, we're getting him in here.
Right.
Yeah.
This is happening.
Right.
And I started going to the gym so I could drag your big ass down here. And
I came willingly. Rolling down the street, smoking endo, sipping on
he's-
apple juice.
And,
laid
he's
back.
like, I'm not funny or entertaining. And then
I am
show
not
a
funny
picture.
at all. I am
We
not
actually
funny.
had the picture loaded up, ready to go. And
I am
you're
not
still...
funny.
Okay, fine.
I have dry humor.
He's dry.
It's horrible
All right.
humor.
That's fine.
It's actually really good.
killed it. Killing it.
I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just joshing.
kidding.
I am just kidding. Anyways,
Yes.
So are we still on like a media topic? Are we still talking about like podcasts and how it's shit on magazines?
Right, and we're talking about how marketing guys need personalities like you to make things fly.
And we're talking about how magazines should add podcasts.
Yeah, I don't know what were in those quesadillas.
Magical mushroom.
Yeah.
It's hot sauce.
Glenn, give him a Mountain Dew.
Yep.
Wow, thanks, Joel. Thanks.
We should. I can't wait to have Joel on the show now because Joel's going to be like, I remember that. Yeah.
Oh, shit. So, okay, you guys can have your marketing meeting back. Sorry.
What?
Yep. No, it's okay. This one's for the marketers.
The marketers. We're not. This isn't about. This is about. I'm saving our car magazines, our shows, our podcasts.
So hey, listen. I'm gonna put saving car magazines in a nutshell.
Yes.
Shaw's, Stop and Shop, Walmart.
Self checkout or not?
I don't know. They still have magazine aisles. Go there, buy one. Buy a car magazine.
That's it.
Just buy it. Don't read it.
Try to read it. Try to read it. Today we have 93
Did you go
Honda Civic. All right, shit. I'm just gonna turn on the Car Grumps. Hey guys!
And here you get that.
Bam!
There you go.
So, look at that.
And then don't forget Jay's truck.
There it is.
Yeah, it is. That's right.
There
And then Jay's future car.
A truck.
Car.
It's gonna be trucking down the track.
Right. Exactly. You're tracking it, right?
Oh yeah.
You say you're tracking it.
100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're just not gonna go stock like pro
Right,
stock. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Right.
Pro street.
Pro street.
Yes.
Street
sir.
pro.
Hell yeah, bro.
Number
Hell
one.
yeah, bro. You're gonna like it.
Now Phil's doing Reiki on us.
Yeah, right.
All right.
Feels like, give me something to talk about.
Yeah,
But
I know.
no. So
So you guys finish up. Go ahead.
No.
Keep going.
Well, I want to. That's
continue.
the thing is, okay, Phil. What if you had a podcast and the perfect podcast, and you said this is not boring? I would love to watch it. What would it be? A magazine? Would it be Facebook, internet, TikToks? Would it be a podcast? Would it be a video? What would it be?
I have no idea, to tell you the honest truth.
It'd be a
Like,
takeover.
It would be something.
Takeover.
Just go do donuts on the table in front of the podcast.
Right. I'm gonna put little cars on the table so they can do takeovers in the middle.
Congratulations, you've received 100 messages today with Restream chat. Thanks, Restream. Appreciate it.
By the way, that's after we crashed the first chat.
Yeah, exactly.
And then came back and did another. So.
Boom. To tell you the honest truth, if I was to watch a podcast, it would probably be about cars because that's what I base like my whole life around. Like I've tried so many different hobbies. The only hobby that I've stuck with thus far, besides cars, is this podcast stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't even do anything besides show up.
What is it that catches your attention about cars?
Oh God.
That you can like. So
I love that question.
there's
It's the smell.
The smell is crazy.
To tell you that, like, so as corny as this sounds, so it all started. When I was a kid, I couldn't differ. I could like if you told me, hey, that's a rim and that's a hubcap, I wouldn't know what the difference was.
Yeah.
Because that's how like I had nothing.
But you knew what you liked.
No, I didn't. I had
Yeah.
no idea. Like I had no idea. My father would bring home beaters. Like we live on 24 acres of land. Would bring home beaters, and I would legit just drive around the yard. I would go through the mud, everything like that. If you pointed at a car part and asked me what that was, I'd tell you I had no idea because I didn't. Then actually, my uncle that told me to shut up. He was the one who got me into cars. He had a Mitsubishi Mirage, and he made his own front bumper. Like he made his own front bumper. He had a big whale fin on the back, like a big trunk spoiler. He had the Mitsubishi decals, like the Fast and Furious going down the side. And I thought that was the coolest thing ever. But I still had no idea what anything about cars was.
Yeah.
And then I watched Fast and the Furious.
Yep. That's like everyone's.
No, it's the truth.
Yeah.
Like, but I was just like, wow. I said, but I've always been. I really like when I was a kid. I wasn't that outgoing. I wasn't that comfortable with myself. I actually I really disliked myself when I was a child. Like I hated what I looked at in the mirror and stuff like that. And it went through like my early all the way up until like adulthood. And Cars was
like a gateway.
It was
a getaway.
It was a getaway. It was it was definitely it was just
drug.
like it was just like all right, like I'm very in my own head all the time. Like and like that was a thing that would just make it all stop.
Yeah.
Like just all the just
I feel this Jesse from Fast and Furious moment.
No, but it's just, but he says it right in the first episode. It was what makes it stop. And I'm not copying him at all. That's the funny thing. It's just like, it made everything stop. And it was just like, it was my escape. And it always has been my escape. And then like, once I found out that's like when I was around cars like that and it made me feel good, I knew what it was. So I started to like realize that. And I'm like, all right, so, and Cars saved me from a lot of self-destruction.
Yeah.
Like I can count on one hand how many times I've had a drink.
Yep.
I've only tried smoking pot twice.
Yeah.
That was it. You know what I mean? Like cars have been my only thing. Like everything I do is car related. Everything, it's just like cars. And that is my escape. That's how I get away from everything.
Yep.
And that's what honestly saved my life. Like if it wasn't for getting into those, I'd probably be a totally different person. I probably wouldn't be here. Like I wouldn't be sitting here with you guys.
Yeah.
I'd probably be off in like a back alley or something.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I mean, you see, our generation. I mean, I was talking about this the other day. How many people have we lost?
Oh,
because they got into the wrong hobbies.
Yeah,
exactly.
No, absolutely.
It's true.
Like
This might be a
that's
bad
really
hobby. It might drain your bank account, but
Yeah, but you
you're
know what?
still here.
You got something to show for it, And I'm like, I'm not saying that I'd be an alcoholic or I'd be a drug addict or anything like that, but I'd probably be a miserable human being because I wouldn't have an outlet. This is my, and like I look at it like this: if you are a true car builder or a true car enthusiast, your car is a reflection of yourself. Your car is who, like when you look at somebody's car, you can tell their personality, you can tell what kind of person they are. Like I've judged on how many people are pieces of shit just by what they drove.
Yeah.
And I was right 9 out of the 10 times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's a reflection of yourself. It's art. You know what I mean? It's a way to express yourself. Some people can draw. Some people can sing. I used to play the drums and I played them terribly. You know what I mean? But like cars was always like my expression of myself. You know what I mean? As stupid as that sounds.
So back to the podcasting, right? We're trying to find the perfect podcast for you, right?
Ooh, yeah.
So
I started following the Whatever podcast. I watched their shorts and I'm just like, dude.
When you're on Instagram, what do you find yourself liking the most?
Car stuff.
Okay, but what type of car stuff?
I've really taken a
Tuners.
No, I've taken a big liking to like old Volkswagen Beetles.
Yeah.
And I'm a big motorcycle guy too. So those like those Cholo Softails with like the fishtails with the flamethrower kits and the big spoke wheels. Like that's what I've been catching myself liking a lot lately.
Now, all right. If that was an audio form, would you hear it?
Would I hear like?
Yeah. Would you
listen?
Yeah,
tune into it?
I probably would.
Yeah.
Yes, I probably would.
Nice.
Like, oh yeah, and like a lot of gun stuff too. Hi Enzo. Sorry.
I didn't know you're a big gun guy.
Yeah.
Oh, I love guns. Like I'm
guns.
I'm into all that like post-apocalyptic stuff.
I like guns.
It's like bunkers.
Oh yeah, dude. So I listen in
Zombies.
an audio book. There was like this audio book. It was like an EMP
Wait,
crash.
so you listen to audiobooks?
No. This was just
I was
one.
about to say, like,
This
what
was
the
just
hell,
one.
dude?
This was
We just went totally back around.
Wait a second.
No, there was just one, and I made it through like half. And
That's
just
pretty good.
No, but I just got busy. Like
half
I'm
more than I ever did.
I'm always on the go.
That's pretty damn good.
I half expected to be like, well, I heard the whole entire Bible on tape, but then after I got done with that, I didn't like listening to anything anymore. Yeah, it's like,
That's crazy.
and so there's Reggie. So Reggie has ECS magazine, and he says because his magazine, the print magazine, is here to stay. And you know what, Reggie, while you have a chance to comment in the comments there, do me a favor and tell me where you find the magazine has the strongest place. In other words, is it local? Is it, he's 23 years, he's been doing ECS magazine. Where do you find the locations that you get the most impact? And what type of magazines, what are the type of vehicles that your magazine covers? Mini trucks, there you go. Mini trucks magazine is back to.
I always wanted to build a money.
I did too, bro. I've
What's
always
that?
wanted to build.
Oh yeah, right.
I love the new Honda Acties that you see everywhere.
Yes.
Nah, dude.
I just honestly,
I was-
I want a Suzuki Cappuccino.
I
really-
fit in that. I can just imagine you fit.
My father had one. He had a Daihatsu Hijet, dude.
dude,
Oh boy.
Dude,
Bro,
me
I
and
love
my
those.
boy Alex stuffed our
Yes.
fat asses in there and did 45 miles an hour down 44. I thought we were going
And
to
that's
die.
top speed.
Yeah, I thought we were going to die.
Downhill with the wind at
And
his
like,
back.
legit, he's squished up against the seat because I have my knees spread like this so I could keep my hands on the steering wheel, dude. Looked like I was
No
jerking
other
off
reason.
going down the highway. I was going for a twofer. Oh.
So yeah.
Perfect.
But I want to find out if the place that his magazine lands the most.
The
And the other
active
thing
vans
is
are
that
sick.
Reggie was one of the guys that said, you know what, I'm gonna put a podcast show to my magazine, and I thought that was a great idea. So
That's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great idea.
Brilliant.
Especially if you're. See, I think it's a great idea if you're dropping a magazine every single week, because then you can complement the podcast with it every single week.
Yep.
Now, how often are new magazines coming out?
Well, that's the thing.
Once
Is
a
it
month.
weekly? I figured,
Once
yeah.
a month.
It all depends because
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying about social media. You get content so freaking quick. So
Yeah.
if I post up the RWB thing, you're gonna see that.
Oh, I
You
was
know,
watching you
So
live the whole
that's-
time, wishing
yeah.
I could punch you through the screen.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
I had to help.
I
But
hated him.
that's-
I hated him all weekend.
But this is how it works. So, for instance, when you're doing your podcast stuff, so you're doing a magazine, your magazine's going to be once a month, or maybe if you do bi-monthly, there's some guys that do bi-monthly, or some even once a year kind of thing for the more specific
Once a year is
stuff.
crazy.
Right.
But yeah, but like, in other words, if you have if you run like the Ferrari magazine, you're gonna have one a year because it's gonna be based on facts and it's usually on the anniversary or something like that.
Yeah.
But if you run a regular magazine, I think it's monthly or bi-monthly, maybe a DuPont registry or something like that. When you do your Facebook pages have to be you got to either do daily or bi-daily or at least once or twice a week kind of thing. And then when you do your podcast, I think your podcast if you can do every day, great. But if not, once a week or once a month or whatever that requires is going to support your entire group from stem to stern. And I think that's the thing is I think if they complement each other, that's how they work the best.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why, back to what you were saying earlier, why when you approach a magazine for a podcast, it's one of those things because now when, say we're on the podcast and the podcast is coming out once a week, we got to stay relevant to what you're going to put out on the magazine, right? Mm-hmm. And if the magazine's coming out once a month,
Yeah, you can't get ahead of
you're
it.
going to be getting ahead of yourself.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then I'm like, that's what brings it back to where, why would I keep it printed
Yep.
when I can just throw it all together in like a 10 picture post and call it a day? Write a short narrative and then talk about it. You know what I mean?
I think you're always gonna have the print guys. You
Oh,
know, there's
100%.
always gonna be the guys there
The
that
nostalgia.
they want that physical magazine.
I'm one of them.
You know, I used
pick it
to
up.
be a huge what was it? Mustangs and Fast Forwards.
Yes. Oh,
Love
wow,
that
yeah.
magazine.
Yep.
And my entire wall was covered with Mustang cutouts. You know, I would sit there all day and cut
Yep.
out Mustangs, and
That's dope.
entire wall was covered.
Yes,
you know,
that's
and
dope. And that's honestly that's what I miss.
Mhm.
Because
Yes.
you can't really do that
No.
with your phone
No.
now. What are you
No.
gonna take a screenshot? I'm gonna save this.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take-
that
I'm
might
gonna
be my
use a
back. That's
printout.
gonna be my background tomorrow. That's gonna be my background tomorrow. Then your girl comes in and like, "Where's my picture?"
Yep.
Shut up.
there's entire websites that allow you to take images and really print them out, but the cost, it's cost prohibitive. So it's kind of like, and even when you do that, most people don't even bother with that anymore. So it's but yeah, my question and my final one for really, I think that is going to hit the hardest for people was back in the day. I don't know if any of you guys know this, but there used to be websites called streetfire.net.
Yep.
There used to be a place called Car Domain.
Yep.
There used to be.
Wow, I haven't heard of Car Domain in so long.
Ready for this one? How about overboost.com?
Yeah, wow, Overboost.
Oh my God,
yes.
dude.
So think about this, and that's the thing is with and I'm going to call it the death of Fast and Furious, and I want to say 2005 because I was selling. That's really how made a lot of my money was going over to the eBay thing, selling parts. And a lot of it was Fast and Furious oriented stuff that people would just, drill through and just whatever they could get. So they would have this Fast and Furious parts that they would want. And then there came a point when it kind of died off and body kits weren't all that big and people wanted to start doing more executive or VIP style builds. They were single color stuff. You know what I'm saying? And we saw these websites start to die. Car Domain was dead, Street Fire. And now we use the same thing. We use Facebook to really do our stuff and share our community together.
Yeah.
So the thing is I kind of see it as like there was, and Reggie said it, he goes, stuff fell off and it kind of took its toll on print. And then print made a resurgence. And then it's like, we're kind of in that space now of I'm kind of like, what works? And I do think that if you're going to do something, you can't just do a website anymore. You can't just do print. I think our whole thing that we've learned here, which is so important, is that if you're going to do something, you're going to have a bigger team of guys that put it all together. And then, like I said, so you got us, you got Gio, you got all these guys out there that are making podcasts. And I think the big thing is to say, these are like, if I wanted to do social media and Instagram, I'm not going to hire some dude that's never done it before, right? I'm going to find somebody that's done it, knows what's up, and they're going to maximize my impact because they know how to read this is a perfect example. Jay, read it. Like, you know what you're doing. You do your job for, what is it, Luciano's? Look at, he's like, yeah. But you do your thing for Luciano's and it's dedicated. You do their social media. You do your stuff. You target that market. And I think the same thing has to go for print. You have to tell them.
Yep. You need a little bit of everything. You got to be multifaceted in today's world. And, multimedia is the way. You can't just be stuck on one. With Luciano's excavation, I came in there and basically from the ground up for their marketing, digital marketing. Yeah. You have so many different platforms that you can utilize, and the great thing is it's cost effective if you use it right.
Correct.
Right. You don't have to pay for the ads if you're doing the right.
You are the ad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're creating it and you're distributing it, and that's the way.
So imagine if you're doing a magazine and you said, hey, I'm going to spend $30,000 this year marketing in ways that are going to get me very few results. When in reality, you could pay somebody like Jay to say, you know what, Jay, I need you to sit over there and I need you to do Instagram. I need you to do Twitter. I need you to do all this stuff. You've done it well on all these other ones. And, what do you make over here? I'll pay you a little more. And in fact, instead of spending $30,000 a month on something, you're going to spend, $100,000 on Jay or $200,000 or whatever. You're still getting a discount compared to what you would get anyplace else. And I just think, like I said, the marketing potential for shows like us, because we're going to be, guys, are we not going to be here podcasting regardless of who gets on board?
Yes, we're going to be here whether you like it or not.
Right. So the thing is I think it's the time that people need to learn and come to terms with it, that if you want to make it work, it's not print guys. And guys, remember right here, print guys use print. Social media guys use social media, and podcast guys do podcasts, right?
Mm-hmm. And they use me.
Yeah. So you have to. So you have to have, if you're gonna play your deck of cards and you want to get everything right, you're gonna have to use all the things available to you. And the reason I think that's important is because, like Gio was saying, the young kids aren't reading your magazines. The old guys are. The mid-range guys are on
Back and
Facebook or social medias or all these other things. So you have this, it's not just one place. There's this broad range of things. And if you're not covering all your bases, you're missing a huge chunk of demographic that I think that it's completely different now than it's ever been before. But I think that's a positive, not a negative.
100%. I also go off and say that because of how big social media has gotten in the past couple of years, that things in social media also have started to change. In terms, like, I'll bring up YouTube. YouTube is going to be changing this year big time.
Well, TikTok's doing long form videos now.
Yes.
And they're pushing them, yes.
Yeah, they're pushing them.
Yep.
So shorts are shorts. They're always going to be shorts. Reels are reels. They're always going to be reels, right? That's something that's going to get your attention, and that's what it's made for, to get your attention.
That's
really
like
quick.
a commercial, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's something that gets your attention really, really quick to make you click the button to watch the long-term video, right?
It's a flower to watch you. To
a little
make you
trailer.
Click on the
It's
crap.
a little, it's a snip. It's just a snippet of what you're gonna watch.
Just a taste.
Just a little
So they lie to you in a very short form to watch you watch.
Well, they usually will post the thing that's trending or the thing that's gonna grasp your attention, right?
Hey, listen, Joel. They were talking. They were talking their technical talk. I was letting them go for it. I cut Jay off all the time. There's been multiple episodes where Jay says, "Hi, what's broken on my truck?"
Right.
And that's it. Like, I don't let him speak for the rest of the show.
It's all good.
So you know what? Jay is in his glory right now because he has another techie guy, and they're talking about media stuff and all
The
that
last
stuff.
guy was a techie guy, too.
Yeah, he was a tech. So you know what? These last 2 episodes, I've been quiet.
He was actually, I couldn't
mean-
believe it. I was like, what do you do? And he said, I'm marketing for
Yeah, I
excavation.
know. And then
I was like,
I was sitting there. I was like,
my biggest competitor?
sick.
Yeah.
When he said that, I'm like sick. I was like,
Didn't know we were bringing the enemies
I'm
in.
not going to be able to talk
No,
today.
Great guy.
I picked on him a little bit, and that was it. He was loving Jay. I was like, yep, screw Phil. So I just sat back. I took a nap, and that was it.
So what big turns do you think YouTube are making?
So because of content creators like Mr. Beast.
Yep.
Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
If you don't know Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
Back to Techie Talk.
I'll show it to you
Oh,
when we
boy.
get on the break. Yeah.
All right.
He ain't got no kids either.
Yeah,
my
yeah.
my
No, I
son's
don't.
obsessed with Mr.
So
Beast.
because of giant content creators like Mr. Beast, the narrative has changed with YouTube. They know now that people are going to try to go above and beyond to get them followers, right?
Yep.
Because that's what's happening in each one of his videos. He tries to outdo himself on every single one, right?
Oh, yeah.
So one is like a huge explosion, right? The second one is going to be like 3 huge explosions.
So I'll
You
do
know what I
like
mean?
10 huge explosions all in one. You guys ready? Because them
Whoa.
quesadillas are starting to kick in.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
Screw that guy. Yes, bro.
Yes,
So-
exactly.
So, back to Mr. Beast. YouTube sees that, right? And they're saying, all right, he has 10 million followers, dude. But what's going on now is that more people are starting to notice that. And they're trying to push the narrative to the amateur artist now.
Yes.
Good.
So people
need
like
that.
us.
So
We
people like
hope,
us,
right?
Okay.
we now have an opportunity to buzz. So another example of that is a bodybuilder who maybe in March of 2023. Yes.
Sam Selleck?
Yes.
Yep.
March of 2023, he only had 8,000 followers. He's up 2.4 million in less than a year.
From what?
He posts a video every single day.
From juicing. No, I'm just kidding.
He posts a video.
No hate,
every
no hate.
single
Vinny
day.
says that dork said he cured blindness and really just paid for cataract surgery. All clickbait.
Exactly. But that's
Still good. I mean, he did a good thing.
Yeah.
You know, I get it.
He's still a dick.
Yeah.
yeah. Still is.
So anyway,
Yo,
yeah.
watch Mr.
So
Beast come in
we-
here,
we-
beast on you, bro.
Right.
Come on,
we
Mr.
got to
Beast.
finish it up. So was that it for you, Gio? Or
Yeah,
you
yeah.
had-
I'm all set.
Cool.
All right. No, I have some questions to ask.
Shout out to Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
shout out
No.
to Beast.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not shouting out.
Hey, Beast.
Oh, well, yeah. Then Logan Paul's another
Yeah.
good example.
I don't know.
They get it.
Is that the
They get it.
prime guy?
I just see those guys as like all fluff, and maybe it's me because I'm older, so I'm
Need some
with
crack.
like me and Vinny are on the speed of like, you know.
It's the viral stuff. You know, these kids are getting caught into these trends, and it's not just
like snorting condoms and swallowing Tide Pods.
Yeah, that was great. That was a good.
That was not good. That was not good.
Okay.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, like wait a minute, like how takeovers started.
it's viral.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, people. That's my problem. Is I see these guys as not being people that say, like, I know we do the funny stuff and we try to be comedic, but we try to bring some kind of quality to this internet thing. And I see a lot of people that just like, you know what? Let's just show a crash video and we're gold. And it's like,
but that's what people want to see, though. Like, honestly,
but I mean, like,
I watched a cyber truck for an hour crash into the same wall at different speeds.
Right.
And I watched the whole damn video.
There's a difference.
The funny thing is, I saw the whole damn thing.
I watched it all. It was like an hour and 10 minutes. And it was like Cybertruck, 5 miles an hour.
So here's my question: do you know who made that video and who the whole person
Elon
that put
Musk.
together?
It was probably Elon Musk and Space Force.
It's not though. And see, that's the problem. Is when somebody was doing a study a while back and they said, okay, who's your favorite YouTuber? And all of them could not only name the YouTube channel, but they could name the person that they liked the most.
Yep.
If you go to TikTok, I want anybody here, who's your favorite TikToker?
I don't know. I don't really use TikTok.
Nobody knows. And the thing is I've watched TikTok for a long time, and you don't watch TikTok for the people, you watch it for the TikTok.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with the content that's 10 seconds long is you watch YouTube for Phil, right, Phil? Right. So anyway, and you watch Phil for hold on. Let me get the thing here. So you watch the internet for Phil, and then you go back later and you go, hey, I remember I watched that show because Phil was on it and Phil said something fun. If you made a TikTok, for a car crash or whatever, or a street burnout. I don't remember. Do you remember anybody that made a street burnout video? No.
You remember the burnout? You don't know who did it.
Right.
No.
So the thing is that
true,
stuff has
100%.
that stuff has no longevity whatsoever. It has no name recognition. And the thing is I just don't see the value in that. And I know we know the Logan Pauls, we know the PewDiePies, we know the Mr. Beast, but the stuff that they do is just right. Exactly.
You gotta get into YouTube,
Bro, I am not into nothing.
Just keep being you, Phil.
Right. Just keep being you.
See, this is why I'm afraid to request to be on the whatever podcast because, dude, they're gonna look at me and be like, "You are a big dumb idiot."
Yeah, but I think the thing that you will ask on that show, which I think is so important, is you will go, somebody will say something stupid, and you'll go, "Why do you feel that way?" And that's what the internet's missing, because we all just listen to these echo chambers out there about people who say stupid stuff, and then they get somebody on and they, so what do you do for the thing? Oh, that's very nice. And then this blah, blah, blah. Nobody cares about that. They want to have fun. They want to watch something that's engaging.
Yeah.
They want to hear somebody go, why do you feel that way? Yeah. And actually know the people versus just saying, I'm going to throw it out there and do whatever. And is there a place... Is there a place for that fun stuff where people are throwing melons off the side of a wall? Yeah. Absolutely. But the thing is that if you want to be long term, there comes a point when you run out of things to throw over a building. Oh, yeah. But there will never be a day that we won't ever not have a topic.
No, true.
Right? No.
True. So, I mean, I watched a fat kid do parkour for like a half an hour the other day.
Oh, I did too.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it was like doing...
we must be watching the same thing. That's hilarious, bro.
But like, it's just dumb shit like that. But then I forget about it until we talk about it now, and I'm like, oh yeah, I did waste 30 minutes of my life watching this fat kid hop over.
What his point is that we don't remember the name.
No, we don't remember anything
about it.
No, it's
other than the fact that it's just a fat guy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean? Like it's I don't know.
It's one in a million.
This day and age, it's scary because like this is where like people come like short-term memory loss.
Do you want to know what scares me the most in the car community? And this has scared me for a very long time, and thankfully I think it's never happened because we put value on our vehicles. Do you want to know what scares me?
What scares you?
Disposable cars.
Oh my God.
The idea that
they're
we buy
already
a car.
Here.
Dude, every car, the Yugo, the whatever car, if you've ever built a disposable car, and everybody says the Mini was not disposable. That car was beautiful.
Yeah,
no.
But yeah, anytime you hear about a disposable car, especially some of this electric stuff that they bring up, a disposable car takes away from the very idea of what we do when it comes to travel and navigation. and I really do think it could kill the entirety of what we do here, which is the passion for cars. And I'll tell you, everybody in here I guarantee got into cars because of one of their relatives or somebody they cared about that was their mentor. And if you have disposable cars like a Chevette or whatever, not Chevelle, sorry, I love Chevelles, but a Chevette or a, what do you call it? What's another, like a Lada or whatever those stupid disposable cars.
Oh my gosh, there's so
Dodge Omni.
Yeah, Exploder or whatever. Like those cars. And that's what I'm scared about with SUVs. It's because people do not drive those cars for the passion.
No.
So,
and that's what scares me too a lot, because you know what, being a car owner with having a nice vehicle and having something that's worth, not something of value, but like sentimental value. I think everybody's car like has a certain type of sentimental value. They went out, they put the time in to pick it, the color, this and that, and blah blah blah. Whether they modify their car or a car enthusiast or not, you know what I mean? With these disposable cars now, it takes away responsibility. Like, I don't have to wash that because I'm just going to throw it away. I don't
it's
have
not
to do
even
that.
your car.
You know, exactly. You know, and like that takes.
I just thought about a Gio Metro. Sorry,
dude.
That just
the worst part is I love the Gio Metro.
Yeah, which is hilarious.
No, but it's just like it takes away from like value, like sentimental value. Like, people are forgetting sentimental value. People are forgetting. People are looking at a lot of things now as disposable. You know what I mean? From like a phone, cars now to friendships. Like friendships, I've watched friendships dwindle over social media. You know what I mean? And it's so stupid. You know, it's just like, grow up. Everybody, like, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. Deal with it. If it smells and you don't like it, guess what?
Walk away.
Exactly.
Go the other way.
But it's just like, you know, I think everybody needs to learn that, hey, listen, even if we have different opinions on things, it doesn't mean we're bad people and we can't coexist. Because I've met a lot of people that I don't agree with. I've met a lot of people that have different opinions than I do. And you know what? I don't push my opinions on them. They don't push their opinions on me. And guess what? We go out, we hang out, we go and do things and whatever, and call it a day.
I think on that note is a good way to end the show tonight. So you guys lost 15 minutes of time in the beginning. I want to thank everybody that stuck with us through.
You got it back at the end, though, guys.
The comments and everything pulled us in. I don't know what happened. We'll probably figure it. We probably will never know what happened. I just really think it was a stupid computer glitch, if you will. And so we will be back later. And I want to thank Gio for driving all the way down here tonight to hang out with us from, hold on here. I got to do this right. Stance Bodega. There you go. Don't forget to tune in. Where do they go to see you?
So you can go to stancebodega.com. There we upload everything.
You have a website?
Yes.
Wow.
Our Instagram, which is stance.bodega. YouTube, just look up Stance Bodega as well. We're pretty much everywhere.
Do you have a lot of videos on YouTube?
I only have like 3 videos on YouTube right now. Because we want to start doing video. We were trying to be like purist. I know we're trying to end it, but we were trying to be like
no, it's okay. Keep going.
And just do audio. But now we're just gonna do.
People wanted an extended. People wanted an extended episode.
Yeah. So anyway, Gio is not at all related to the Gio Metro or the Gio Prism or any of those Gios. He is his own Gio.
Is Stance Bodega? Does Stance Bodega have anything to do with Stance Innovators?
We are they're like my brothers.
Oh, really?
I'm a member of Stance.
You guys like stepchild?
Basically.
Oh, you are?
Yep.
Oh. That's cool.
Cool.
Yep.
I think you're like one of the only people from there that I've met besides Will.
Which Will?
Will with the yacht.
Oh, yes. Yep.
He's always like,
yes,
doing the dance moves. Yes. That's my boy.
Yep.
Shout out to Will with the yacht.
Yep.
All right, so
him.
You guys don't forget to head over to Stance Bodega and say hi to them. Yes, we are done.
Nope.
And then we'll talk. We're going to have an after show.
We're not done.
And we're saving some of this for the next show.
Done.
Thank you guys for tuning
don't
in.
Hit that button. Don't you
Everybody
dare.
say goodbye.
Don't you
say
dare.
goodbye.
Don't
say goodbye.
Don't